In such circumstances, we can't afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix our healthcare system. We can't wait to end global warming. We can't wait to bring this war in Iraq to a close. We cannot wait, and that's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. In fact, when I decided to run, it was because I believed that the American people understood the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken politics to solve. I believe that the American people were tired of a politics of tearing each other down. They wanted politics of lifting the country up. I believe you were tired of spin and PR and double talk from elected officials. You wanted straight talk and honesty, truthfulness from your elected officials. But most of all, I was betting on you, the American people. Now, some of you know I now live in Chicago, but I'm not originally from Chicago. I moved to Chicago after college because I wanted to work. I wasn't much older than some of the young people here today, and I realized I wanted to work to help people who were worse off, and I wanted to do it at a grassroots level. And there were a group of churches who were helping steel workers who'd been laid off of the plants back in the mid-'80s. And so I went to work as a community organizer, setting up job training programs for the unemployed and after-school programs for youth. And it was the best education I ever had, even though it was really hard, because it taught me that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given a chance. And that change doesn't happen from the top down, it happens from the bottom up. And so we carried that philosophy into this campaign. I'm convinced that the American people are decent and generous people, willing to work hard and sacrifice on behalf of future generations. And I was convinced that if we could just get past some of the divisions that block our progress, racial, religious, regional, if we could all come together, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, young, old, rich, poor, to challenge the special interests that have come to dominate Washington, but also to challenge ourselves to be better neighbors, and better parents, and better citizens, then there would be no problem we wouldn't solve and no destiny we would not fulfill. And I am here to report that after 15 months, after 46 states, after speaking to hundreds of thousands of people and shaking tens of thousands of hands and kissing hundreds of babies, I am here to report that my bet has paid off, and my faith in the American people has been vindicated. And so as a consequence, we've seen record turnout everywhere we go, especially among young people. We've seen young people take an interest in politics like they haven't in a generation. And I would like to take all the credit for it. But I have to admit, part of the reason everybody's so excited is that they know whatever else happens, when you go into the polling place in November to choose the next president of the United States, the name George W. Bush will not be on the ballot. The name of my cousin Dick Cheney won't be on the ballot. That was pretty embarrassing. There was a news report that he and I had a distant relations. But his name won't be on the ballot. So we know that the Bush era is coming to an end. But that's not the only reason people are excited, because people don't want to just be against something. You want to be for something. You want to feel like we can go out there and solve big problems. And we've got some big problems to solve. I hear the stories everywhere I go. I met a young person a while back going to college full-time, but she also has a sister who has cerebral palsy that she's helping to support. And so she goes to school full-time, goes to college full-time, comes home, takes care of her sister, does her homework, gets to bed about 10, has to wake up at 1 in the morning to work the night shift in order to support her and her sister. Then starts all over again the next day. She gets 3 hours of sleep a night. And, you know, she wasn't telling me this out of self-pity. She was just explaining her life and how determined she was to try to make a better life for herself. And she was wondering, why is it that nobody in Washington seems just as determined to help me pay for college or make sure that my sister gets decent health care?